Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nora G, and for today's video we're going straight into it. So I'll be showing you part 1 of 2 videos, how to make marquee numbers 0 to 9. So to get started, we're doing marquee number 0, and I will be showing you how to make a 5-foot tall marquee 0. To do this, I am using foam boards from the Dollar Tree, and I will be taping these together. As you can see, I'm using 6 foam boards, 20 by 30 for the size, and I am putting this together using Duct tape from the Dollar Tree as well. I will have the link to all the materials used in this video down in the description box for your shopping convenience. So I'll be using these marquee templates, which I have been selling for about 3 years now. I have the link in the description box where you can purchase these templates directly from my Etsy store, and you will get an immediate download. So I'll have both numbers and alphabets in the description box, and the alphabet actually includes ampersand sign as well. So for our next step, after laying out our templates, I'm using an X-acto knife to cut out our marquee number base. Just watch as I do this. So if you don't have a steady hand like I do, well, you can actually also use a cordless electric cutter to cut this out, which I will show you as we continue with the other numbers, the different ways you can cut this. I will have the link in the description box to where you can actually purchase that as well. Okay, so once I had cut out the outer frame and had my number basically already traced, I went ahead to cut out the middle part. So in case you're wondering, I actually have a chopping board underneath, so I am not messing up my floor. So you want to be mindful of that, the surface on which you are cutting. The next step would be to use the side frames to actually put around the number 0. These frames I already had pre-cut from a previous video, and this actually measures 6 inches wide, and for the length it doesn't matter. You just have to gauge and then go as much and use as much as you need for any number of your choosing. For number 0, just make sure to start from the middle and work your way out, because if you start from the way out, it will be harder for you to actually put together the middle part. Like I had already mentioned from the start of this video, I do sell the marquee templates, and it's backed by popular demand. I've had a lot of people inquire about the templates, so I will have that linked in the description box and also in the comment section as a pinned comment. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to drop them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So as you can see, there's a gap right there, but do not worry if you do have such a gap. Just use your white Duct tape to actually cover every area that your foam boards meets and that did not cover properly. Alright, so that is our marquee 0. Next thing, I'll be using these lights that I got from Amazon, and I will use that to fill in my marquee number 0. So that will be in my Amazon storefront, linked below. So these are 25 bulbs that I will be using. So I went ahead and buzzed holes. The gap between each hole is about 1.5 inches. But this again is personal preference, so it's up to you how much space you want to have in between. So if you want them very close to each other, that's up to you. If you want them to be very spaced out, again, that is up to you. So for a 5-foot tall number 0, I'm using 25 bulbs to do this, and I just press the holes to make sure that all the bulbs fit in. And that is our final look, guys. Please do let me know what you think down below. On to the next. Okay, now for marquee number 1, we will be doing another 5-foot tall marquee number 1. And for this one, I'm using 4 foam boards, and you get the drill. So this is another option that I had mentioned in one of my previous videos, that you could use the templates which I currently sell, or you could invest in a projector like this one, where you can basically trace out the number. So I just used the projector and went ahead to trace out number 1, which you can do for any other number or letter of your choosing. I used the pencil to print out my sketch of number 1 and then my X-acto knife to go ahead to cut it out. But first I had to add a little extra on the side to cut out, because number 1 has, the tail at the end. So basically that's what I had to do to save up on some foam board. So once I had that all done, I went ahead to cut it out. This is basically what it would look like once we're done with it, but I'll go ahead to show you how you can fill this up with balloons. So now that our frame is all ready, this is another option that I had mentioned at the start of this video, the electric cutter, which you can also use to cut out your marquee foam boards. Next step is me just basically measuring out the frame for our marquee number 1. And because I'll be filling this up with balloons, the frame is actually 10-inch wide, so it is deeper because you want to be able to put balloons inside without it overlapping on your foam board, as opposed to lights. So number 1 is pretty easy. There are no bends and curves, just straight lines, so this was very quick to make. So for those of you who have 1-year-old birthdays, make sure you try this, and do not forget to purchase the templates down below in the description box. As you can see, for the edges where I have to make a bend, instead of cutting it out completely, I just core the foam board, and then that actually helps me in making it flexible so I can actually bend it to the next step. Alright, so that is it with our number 1. Next, I'll be using these balloons, which I also have linked down below in the description box under my Amazon storefront, to actually fill this in. So I'll be using rose gold, pink, and white balloons, and of course we have to blow them up. Next thing, I will go ahead to fill this in, starting with the large balloons, and then using my low temperature hot glue gun, I will go ahead to fill in the smaller balloons. These are 5-inch balloons, by the way. So once I was done with blowing up the balloons, I went ahead to fill them up, and again I repeat, do not use high temperature hot glue for this. Low temperature hot glue or balloon glue dots. And this is our final look. What do you think? Well, on to the next. For marquee number 2, this is all you will need. I will also have this linked down below in the description box, once again for your shopping convenience. Step 1. Tape foam boards together using white duct tape, because of course the foam boards are white. I am using 2 boards of 20 by 30 inches wide for this 3-feet marquee number 2. Now on to step 2, once you've done this step. Step 2. Lay out and tape your templates. I have the printed templates here for number 2, so I'll go ahead to lay them out and then move on to the next step. So the steps is just to make it pretty easy for you. Make sure to check out my other videos on marquee numbers. I do still sell the templates if you're looking to buy. Check the pinned message and also the description box for more information on this. Be sure to tape your templates onto the foam board before cutting it out. So once you've done this step, we'll move on to step number 3. Step 3. Cut out your number or letter using X-acto knife or cordless electric cutter, which I have used in my previous videos. Since this is a smaller number, I decided to use my X-acto knife, and if you're using any surface that is not cut friendly, make sure to use a chopping board. So when cutting out, be sure to take your time, especially around the curves. Do not rush. Once I was done cutting, I remove my number 2 from the frame, I will keep the other frame for future use, just so I do not have to use the template again. So this is what my base looks like. Step 4, cut out your frames for your template. Alright, so this is a frame we're going to use to build the framework around the number 2, or any numbers or letters for that matter. Using my X-acto knife, I cut out a couple of frames, and this actually measures 6.5 inch for width, and the length is 30, the same as the foam board. So I made incisions and then folded them for the areas that have curves. You could do incisions with your X-acto knife before folding them like I just did, or you could just plain roll them over like I'm currently doing without making any incisions, and it works just fine. Just watch as I do this. Now that we have enough frames ready, let's move on to step number 5. Using your hot glue, it's time to attach the framework. So I already had my hot glue cooking up on the side, which I am going to start first with the most challenging parts. I recommend starting with the center of any number if they do have a center. So like 0, 2, 3, start from the middle and work your way out. Be sure to use a generous amount of hot glue. Do not spare it, okay? So I will start with the curvy parts first before moving on to the straight areas, just in case I need to fold some more foam boards. Okay, so just watch as I do this. Overall, I used a total of 4 foam boards for this number 2 marquee number. So this is a 3 feet marquee number 2, so it is not too big, obviously, because it is for a kid. We do not want it to be looking too large for her size. Okay, so if you're looking to make this, keep in mind 4 foam boards of 20 by 30 inches wide. Of the cut out areas that you currently see, I'm going to use the white duct tape over that to cover them so it easily blends in with the white. Okay, so do not worry about that if you're doing this and you happen to have patches or areas where you feel it did not cover properly. All you need to do is use your duct tape and seal them up. On a side note, I also want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have purchased templates from me, and also all of you who have sent me your work to see what you've done so far regarding marquee numbers and letters. I am super proud. Thank you so much. So if you've made any of my numbers or letters or learned how to make this for my channel, I'd love to see what you've come up with. So make sure to send me an email or link me up in my DM on Instagram. With that said, we've come to that point of the video. So if you've watched right up to this point, please do comment templates in the comment section below and show your girl some love. And now we move on to the next step, and our final step, number 6. Now step number 6 is the fun part, and I have 2 options here for floral arrangements. So this is the point where you can choose to decorate with balloons, lights, like I have done in my previous videos. Make sure to check those out. And this time I will be doing flowers. So option 1, I am using some hydrangea, artificial hydrangeas, and some mixed roses and bushes. So this is actually from my centerpieces arrangement from my event decoration business. So I am just showing you what you could do with this, especially if your marquee number is made of wood or acrylic. For foam boards, I would not very much recommend you using heavy flowers because these flowers are heavy. This would not stand properly. But just to give you an idea, you can actually have a floral arrangement in a marquee number like I am currently showing you in this video. Moreover, this will make the perfect floral arrangement for a bridal shower, baby shower, or a wedding. Looking at the color combination. It is also good for a kid, but I wanted something more fun and bubbly for the baby that this baby girl is. So option number 2, I will be doing balloons, flowers, and butterflies in a combination of yellow and purple. So this is what I got from the Dollar Tree. some beautiful looking daisies in yellow, and then I also got some balloons in purple and some butterflies. So they have a whole variety at the Dollar Tree and also at Dollarama. If you're in Canada, you can find these there. So I will be using this to do option number 2, and you please let me know in the comment section which option you prefer the most. So in total, I got 15 daisies, yellow daisies, and also 2 packs of butterflies. So 8 butterflies. Alright, so these are all $1.25 each, or $1.50 I think. So using my X-acto knife, I made incisions in my number 2, through which I will be placing my flowers. So in this case, I am putting my flowers before my balloons. You can do the balloons before the flowers, but I am doing the other way around because these have sharp edges and I wanted more flowers than balloons. So if you're looking to having more balloons than flowers, you want to go with your balloons first, then your flowers second. Alright, in this case, I want more flowers than balloons, so I am going with my flowers first and then my balloons will come in last. So just watch as I do this. Again, you can use any flowers of your choosing. You're not obliged to use the same flowers like I am. So just have fun with this, okay? If you wanted to use lights, you can use a combination of lights and balloons, lights and flowers. I'm going to show you all of that on this channel, so make sure to subscribe because there'll be many more ideas of how you can play around with your marquee numbers. Now this is what it looks like after I was done. On the back side, I would trim off all the excesses in the back and then use my hot glue to seal them in, as you can see right now. So I have it all sealed both ways, inside and out, and also cut out. Now it's time for me to put in my balloons. I am using purple balloons, 9-inch balloons, but I am not blowing them all out to its maximum capacity. Alright, so I'm just doing them small and then using low temperature hot glue like I had shown in my previous video, Marquee number 18. I had them all glued down in the foam board. Now at this point, I had one bunch of daisy left, which I cut out and then used to fill out any holes or any gaps in between the balloons and the flowers. And then now it's time for me to put on my butterflies, which are also typically in yellow color and some shade of orange or so. So I had them randomly placed onto the marquee number 2, and this is what the final look for our 3-feet marquee number 2 with balloons, butterflies and flowers look like. So this is our option number 2. So please do let me know in the comment section which option was your favorite. Option number 1 with the hydrangeas and roses, or option number 2 with the daisies, balloons and butterflies. I really love how vibrant and bubbly this looks. It looks very befitting for a kid with the butterflies and the daisies. It just matches the atmosphere, the weather, everything, and her personality in particular. Alright, so do let me know in the comment section which option you thought was the best. Option 1 with the hydrangeas, or option 2 with the butterflies and flowers and balloons mixed. So please do give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it so far, and also do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel, because I have so much more planned for you guys. Meanwhile, let's carry on to our next marquee number 3. Alrighty, so now getting into marquee number 3. I believe at this point you get the drift, so I will not be doing so much of a voiceover going forward. But if you do have any questions, do not hesitate to comment down below and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So for this, I already went ahead and laid out my templates and it was very easy. So this is going to be 3 feet tall, just like we just did with number 2 in our the previous number. And of course, I went ahead and cut it out using my X-acto knife, which you could also use the electric cutter. That is our frame all set and ready. Next thing is to put on the main frame of our number 3. So once again, start from the middle or from inside and work your way out. It is just easy that way, and it's common sense. For some reason, of all the numbers, I kind of find number 3, 5, and 8 to be the most complicated because they do have a lot of curves. They just are like a curvy woman, you know, with all the bends and curves. Anyways, that's just my, I don't know, side joke. But yeah, carrying on, I will continue to glue my number 3, and to save you some time, you already know the drift. I had already glued all of that, and that's basically it. So I'll do the finishing touches, and then I'll show you how I went on to decorate this. Okay, and just like that, we're done with number 3. I actually did this for my niece's 3rd birthday, and another question which I've had a lot is how to make numbers with a rounded bottom like this one stand perfectly. So to do this, I cut out the angle shapes as I just showed you. I will also use the flatter shape out of my foam board and will glue this to the back of my number 3. This way it can stand freely by itself without falling over. Next thing will be to actually do my balloons. So I'll be doing a mosaic style with this one, filling it up with balloons just like I showed you with marquee number 1. This time around, I'm not using a low temperature hot glue. I'll be using these glue dots to actually put them together. So these were the colors she chose, so I'll go ahead to put that on in our marquee number 3. Okay, so of course I'm doing the different sizes again just so it looks different, and here we are. That is our final look. What do you think? So you see how freely that stands, and you could also use lights. Well, on to the next. So for marquee number 4, I will be doing another 5 foot tall, and we'll be using 6 foam boards for this. Just like I showed you at the start of this video, of course, now I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record because I'm repeating myself. But yes, if I have to do this for emphasis, I will do so. Anyway, so I went ahead and glued it all together, or put them together using my duct tape. And next thing will be to use the templates, you know, on top of it as well. Once again, if you have any questions, I am here for you guys. I want all of us to win. So if you're looking to doing this as a side business, like making this and selling, I have a lot of businesses that have actually bought templates from me and are actually selling them, making this for sale. So I am here to help you. If you want to do this as a small business or a side business, a side hustle, your girl is here for you. So just hit me up down in the comment section or DM me on Instagram. Alright, so my Instagram handle is down in the description box below. So for number 4, because there are a lot of straight lines, I'll be using a ruler to actually cut out my number, and also my X-acto knife. If you have perfect hands, no shaky hands, you can actually cut this out without the ruler. Another reason why I use the ruler is because I did not use my clear tape to tape down the templates onto the foam boards in every area. So that actually helps to keep it in place while I go ahead to cut it out using my X-acto knife. Once again guys, I did mention this is basically part 1 of 2 of showing you how to make marquee number 0 right through to marquee number 9. So this is the last template for part 1 because I do not want this video to be longer than it already is. So there will be part 2 where I will show you how to make marquee number 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Do let me know in the comment section if you would like to get a part 2 of this, and also if you would like for us to do the alphabet as well. So after previously using the X-acto knife to actually score the number, the templates, I am actually now going through to cut it out effectively. You can actually see the trace on the foam board if you look closely. Alright, so you can see our number 4 coming along, the base that is. So I was actually making this for my twin sister-in-law. So you would have seen the marquee number 40, which is a part of this video that I am currently using. And if you've watched that video, you probably already know what this was for. It was for their 40th birthday. So to do the frames, I'll be using I'll be doing 6 inches wide, and this is not as deep as the ones for the balloons because of course I'll be using lights for this instead. Okay, so we'll go ahead and have this glued all to the sides of our marquee number 4 once we have our sides prepped. The electric cutter just makes things very easy and faster compared to the X-acto knife. So like I said, I'll have that linked down below in the description box for those of you who are like me and want to do this quick, okay? So first things first, we will start from the center and work our way out. Alright, so you would go ahead and put your sides and cut accordingly, measure and cut accordingly. So once you have the center part placed, the rest basically just falls in place. Okay, so guys, if you've watched right up to this point, I would love it if you can comment down below which of the numbers you found pretty interesting as per the design style, like how I chose to fill it up. Are you a balloon number person, or a lights number person, or flower number person? So basically, are you for marquee number 1 with balloons, or marquee number 2 with balloons, flowers and butterflies, or marquee number 4 with lights? So do let me know down below. Alright, so like I had mentioned, this is going to be a marquee number filled with lights, or used with lights, as this is for a 40th birthday. I feel it's just appropriate and more mature to actually use the lighted marquees for, you know, adult birthdays, and then for kid birthdays you can actually use the balloons. That's just personal preference once again. So if you're 40 and you want to do a marquee number 40 with balloons, go right ahead by all means. Okay, so after several pieces cut and glued together, our marquee number 4 is looking complete. And this is what it looks like at this point. So I'll go ahead and use my white duct tape to glue together every opening that did not glue properly. Now that is our number 4 standing information, and the next thing is for me to mark the areas where I intend to put my lights. Once again, this will be 1.5 inches apart, and this is all personal preference. Again, I will be using 25 bulbs, so I'm just marking them enough to make sure that they all fit. So you can space it out as wide as you want, or you can make it as close as you want. And I'll be using these lights from Amazon, like I showed you at the start of this video. I will have that linked in the description box for those of you looking to purchase. That's basically what they look like, and the next step would be to screw this all up in my marquee number 4. It sounded weird. It sounded really weird to screw this up. But I'm actually not screwing it up. I'm just screwing the bulbs into my marquee number 4. But you get the drift, guys. Anyways. And that's basically it, guys. Once I was done with the bulbs, our marquee number 4 was ready. With that said, that will bring us to the end of this video. Please do let me know if you'd like to see a part 2 of marquee number 5 right through to marquee number 9. Also, do not forget to hit that like button if you did enjoy this video so far, and also hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you continue to get more exciting videos from me. In the meantime, always remember to be your fun self no matter what life throws at you. Thank you for watching and have a great day.